Hello, this is Mike, and this is a video response to Professor Daniel Master. A response to his video, Why Editions Don't Matter. I would like to start by saying that I totally get Professor Daniel Master's point, but I think there is some things that are lost in his definitions. For example, he says, for me, Pathfinder, all D&D editions, ICRPG, Dungeon Crawl Classics, etc. are all D&D. And all of them are compatible. And to that, I will say, well, yes and no. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Just kidding. Let me explain. I know Professor Daniel Master likes games that are, let's say, less rules and more role-playing. But some people like me enjoy both. I love Pathfinder and I enjoy playing 5e, World of Darkness, and I'm getting into Dungeon World and I love it. And to explain my point, we have to separate the rule part from the role part. Some will say it's the game part for the role part, but I think role-playing is also gamey and fun and it's part of the game. So speaking of role-playing, you can practically play role-playing games with a coin, without rules, like the free Kriegspiel way of playing. So let's put that aside. Speaking of rules, what does it mean to be compatible? It's not set in stone, so it could be something from being able to grab a book from 3.5 and using it in Pathfinder First Edition, which is really easy, to grab a second edition D&D book and spend 1 hour or more converting a monster to 5e. This is where I'm going. Like, if we stretch the definition of compatible, we can play, I don't know, 5e using Warhammer 40k monsters, I don't know. Spending several hours converting all the monsters and items and whatnot. But I bet that most people don't have that kind of free time on their hands to convert everything. So when they talk about compatibility, they will rather just grab a book with monsters already converted to 5e and not having to spend hours converting the monsters themselves. Yeah, I know there is less conversion from, let's say, 3.5 to 5e than the time you will need to work on converting stuff from 2nd edition to 5th edition. So most people will consider compatible something that you need just like 10 minutes rather than 5 hours to practically create the new monster from scratch or the new item or class or whatever. And that's about compatibility. Now let's go with all D&D, all editions are D&D except for E, as he said. Well, as we look at this picture, all of these are knives and you can use all of this to cut. And if you want to cut your bread with these knives, I'm sure you can do it. But one of these was especially designed to cut bread. Similarly, in the plethora of games, OSR, Pathfinder, D&D games, D20 games or whatever, some have been designed for a purpose or a different taste in game, right? And of course, it's easier to import things from a complex game to a simple game, like from Pathfinder to 5e, ICRPG, or Deathbringer. So if I'm playing a super simplified version of D&D, I can just open a Pathfinder book, look at the picture and see, oh, this is a strong monster, and just play with that, right? Of course, it wouldn't be that easy if you try to do the opposite. Anyways, I hope I was clear in my point about compatibility. Now, about people who play 5e or Pathfinder, they just want a cheese factory of options. It's not that simple because those options have to be within an acceptable amount of game balance. You cannot just throw whatever and people will be, yay, we're happy. I don't know. And I think what people enjoy of playing Pathfinder of 5e in the rule part, in the game part, is that learning the rules and playing the game. Like, you learn to play Monopoly, you learn the rules and play Monopoly. Of course, you can play Monopoly Junior, which is way easier. And there is even more difference when you talk about a game where part of the fun is in working these rules to certain ends, right? And it's a part of the game that some people enjoy. Some people enjoy the other part, the pure role playing, and some people enjoy the part of actually working with the pieces of the puzzle that are the rules. And yeah, so whatever is fun for your group, that's what you should play, right? And there is one more important thing about these quote-unquote complex systems, is that these systems are sort of like a language. Like if you go to a party and expect everybody to speak English, and they start, I don't know, speaking Latin, you will say, hey, I thought we were going to speak English here. It's the same if you go to, I don't know, a public game in a convention or a game store, and you are expecting to play 5e, and then the dungeon master say, no, we are not doing hit points, or we are not doing this or that, or we are ignoring, I don't know, rules about attacks of opportunity, flanking, crits. And then you will say, but I came here to play D&D 5e. What is this? This is not the game I came to play, right? In that case, I think it will be not nice to hear this DM telling you, oh, but for me, everything is D&D. Another example is as if you came to a place to play Fortnite, and then they say, no, we are playing this game Quake from 2006 or something. And you say, but that's not the game I came to play. And they say, oh no, for me, all the third-person shooters are the same. All of them are basically the same game. Well, I hope I was clear about my points. And if you want to watch Professor Daniel Master's video, I will put the link in the description of this video. Again, I really respect Professor Daniel Master, and I was just wanting to clarify these little definitions and my point of view in general. Well, thank you very much for playing. Well, you're not playing, you're watching. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.